I am in the University of Abuja to interview the Vice-Chancellor, Prof. AbdulRasheed. He is the current Vice-Chancellor of University of Abuja.
My name is AbdulRasheed. Na'Allah is my last name, my father's name. I see myself as a typical Ilorin person. I was born and bred in the city of Ilorin, in Kwara State of Nigeria. And I grew up there as a child, so I imbibe basically a typical Ilorin boy's, upbringing in terms of, ways of life, philosophy of life, traditions, cultures. I started my career as an academic staff at the University of Ilorin. I haven't taken a degree from that university. And I think if you want to define me, the Great University of Ilorin has to be part of it, because that was the first opportunity for me out of post-primary, to go to school. And I met people from all over Nigeria. And really, issues of national development, international development became focused to me. Then went to University of Alberta in Edmonton, Canada, where I did my PhD. And at that moment, I was concerned with what was going on in my country, Nigeria, but also what was happening nationally. The issue of environmental degradation in the South was a major thing that I actually focused as a young person, doing a PhD. I have taught all over the places. I have taught people from all over the world. And now being a higher education administrator as a Vice-Chancellor, I kind of understand clearly what is higher education, in the world. What is the position of university in the world? What should be taught to young people? How can you develop global citizenship, And that is what we try to practicalize. So call me an Ilorin boy, call me an educationist, call me somebody who has a global view about how a person from Nigeria must attain this global citizenship.
Professor Nala is a leader. He's an humble person. He's a straightforward person and a hard-working person. He believes in standard, he believes in quality, he believes in performance, and he believes in deliverance.
My relationship with Professor AbdulRasheed Na'Allah is multifaceted, I would say. So our relationship is more than just a vice-chancellor and somebody who works under him. He's my father, he's my uncle, he is my mentor and my benefactor.
Na'Allah has this management style, which is unique to him. We call it management by waka about. Management by waka about. Every morning when he's on campus, he's huge, which is a figure, which is a barbariga. He will walk around the campus. Okay, so if you are in class, if you see him in class, to talk to, so you get to see him almost every other day. So it's amazing working with him. I learned quite a lot under his leadership, because he gave us young individuals then the opportunity to showcase what we have. Okay, by giving us responsibility, watch us make mistakes, and then he corrects us, and today we are better off for it.
So if you ask me, that has University of Abuja met, the dreams of the founding fathers, I ask you back, has Nigeria met the dreams of the founding fathers? We have a lot of work to do, but I can assure you at the University of Abuja, we are moving with the speed of light, because we know that we have a destiny. We are the only public university in the nation's capital. We must be the model university in Nigeria. We must be a world-class university. We must be a university, yes, public, but can compete favorably with any private university anywhere in the world, because we have to be the example. And we understand this. And so what we are doing in this university is to strengthen our curriculum, get the best academic that you can have, get the best non-teaching that you can have through training, through recruitment, through repositioning, ensure that the university has equipment for our young people, so that when they come in, they are really getting what they need to get. We focus now on the young people. What is their future? We have introduced student employment scheme. We want to teach them as they come and say, look, money has no gender. Work on campus. Test what your parents is going through. Just getting little money to send you to school. Know what it is. We're introducing mentoring program. We're asking students to mentor other students. We're introducing entrepreneurship. We're saying that people from all over Nigeria, all over the world who are entrepreneurs, should mentor them. We're saying our young people, no matter your discipline, you should create wealth right from here on campus. You see, we're introducing counseling and career services. We think that people who enter here must, finish. We are not bringing anybody here to fail. We are bringing here to succeed. We're saying that if you have a problem, the career services should pick it up. The counseling service should pick it up. Today, we have a problem of drug use in Nigeria. And this is fundamentally part of the crisis of youth at this university. We want to help them. So we are focusing on the life of young people. We are strengthening academic. We are strengthening the delivery of academic, programs in the university. We are also saying we must be the model university in Nigeria because of the location, the destiny of location that we have, being the only public university in the federal capital. So if you ask me, I would say yes, we are really in the process of being that model university, that world-class university.
Right from inception, in 2009, when PASU began, the leadership of Professor Nala, who happened to be our master then, observed that most graduates that university turns out annually were not employable. While those who are actually employable, there were no jobs for them to do. And we could realize that there are no jobs because there are no job creators. So universities train students to graduate as job seekers and not job creators. Meanwhile, governments cannot actually create enough jobs to meet the needs of its populace. Therefore, the university decided to make our graduates job creators rather than be job seekers. Hence, the system was created. KWASU was the first public university in Nigeria to create a system of entrepreneurship. The main purpose was to make all our graduates job creators and not job seekers. Hence, it's a very good desire by the university to make its vision come true of instilling entrepreneurial skills and, of course, qualities in all our students.
So AbdulRasheed Nala left the university. He came up with the idea of having a certificate program for students in community development. It means regardless of your field, you must have a certificate in community development. You are becoming an engineer, no problem. We'll be proud of you being an engineer. But you must have that sense of volunteerism in you. You must have that sense of giving back to the society, the sense of giving back to the community. So we teach them, they pay for it. And away from that, we do not rely on the fees. We collaborate with internal and external bodies from abroad. We are partnered with different organizations outside Makerere University, Canada. We partnered with them to give some communities what they needed. We are partnered with Emmanuel Foundation in Canada. We are partnered with so many organizations out there. So on sustainability, we partner with companies in Nigeria and outside. And sometimes we generate our funds from within because we teach and we earn from the teachings. So we use the money for community development interventions.
We call it the University for Community Development. I mean, that's our mantra. And at KWASU, we introduced, we're the first public university to introduce entrepreneurship studies. The number one public university. And we created young people who are creating wealth everywhere. I've always told people, just wait a little bit and see KWASU products around the world creating wealth, becoming Dangotes, becoming all these great people in Nigeria, because some of them, they've gone all over the places and they are doing great. And so when I remember all those times, I feel so proud. Times that we are laying foundation. As a pioneer Vice-Chancellor, when I came, it was the Bush, which we changed the whole place. We built a university from the scratch. We did road, we did buildings, we worked with government, we worked with private NGO, we worked with TED Fund, with everybody who cared to do. And our goal from the beginning was to set a world-class university, you know. And we were very thorough. To recruit a single person in KWASU, you know, you will have to come and share your research with us. You have to do a public presentation in which all of us will look at, we screen you thoroughly to see whether you are the kind of person we want to have in the university. And I'm telling you, most of what we did together. It was a collective process at the university, at the Kwara State University.
The university took off in 2009. And that time, there are already takeoff projects. Vis-a-vis the road construction, some road layouts, water structures, buildings infrastructures, and then sewage infrastructures. And that is those projects we, took as takeoff projects. So we met those projects on ground. So when we came in with this effort, we have to start improving on the existing infrastructures through IGR, internally generated resources, through state government interventions, through third fund intervention, through needs assessment interventions. And that is how you see all that you've seen around here. And in all of these projects that I'm telling you, since 2011, I have been involved from the scratch, the due processing, the supervision, implementation, and delivery.
Two things informed his interest in community development. Personally, we had series of discussions, of course. There was a day I can remember he told me that where he was working abroad, the universities there, they have centers like this, assisting, helping the communities, that he had it at the back of his mind, that whenever he had the opportunity of heading any institute in Nigeria, he would make sure there is a center like that. But the fact that he saw it and he wanted to do it does not actually answer the question. You have to be humane. You have to be considerate. You have to be realistic. And you have to be in connection with the reality on ground. The interest of your community must be in your heart. It must be there, right inside your heart, before you can actually come up with anything like this. So it is one thing to see it happening outside. It is another thing to wanting to replicate the same thing inside for the benefit of your people. So I would say two things that informed it are, one, experience, exposure, those two as a one. Then the other one is the humane part of Na'ala, that I must give back to the society, to the community that has produced me. He grew up in Ilorin. He knows almost every street in Ilorin. So, and he thinks there has to be something from his own side. Nala is not a millionaire. All he has is just ideas. And those ideas have to be to the favor, to the benefit of his people. And that is what he's doing.
It is true that universities all over the world generate funds. The way it's been done in Nigeria is not totally normal. It's not totally, but I'm not ruling out. I mean, what you see universities do is that they start bottling company, they do water, they do bricks, they do this or whatever. What universities do is that you invest in your products. You invest a lot in the young people that are coming to the university. So that by the time they finish, they really want to give back. They have an excellent experience that they keep thinking of their university. If you give them another choice to choose another university again, they will go back and choose your university. They want to come for graduate education. They are proud of that university and they are ready to give back in money, in cash. Most universities around the world, through alumni relations, they really get a lot of money. We are doing that in this university. We're investing in our young people. We are beginning to ask our alumni to take responsibility, to look at alumni association, alumni relations, not in terms of just having parties and whatever, but in terms of, mobilizing resources for their university. We're looking around the world to see who graduated from University of Abuja, who are anywhere, in the United States, in UK, in all these places, and we're telling them, form unions, form associations, Alumni Association, University of Abuja in UK. Begin to think about how do you get support for your university from there. And I'll give you an example. We're trying to register University of Abuja as American Friends of University of Abuja in New York City. And part of what we're trying to do is to look at our products who are there, who can support this university. America, the way they do it. When you give money to charity, when you give money to non-profit, you get what they call tax deductible opportunities. If they give us money, they get their tax reduced. And so many of them who are there now are mobilizing. So that is one way. We want to mobilize for support from our own young people. We are approaching philanthropists to say, please give us money. You see, it's very important. We are thinking that we should start a foundation, a big foundation, in which we put some money there. We have an independent board of trustees who will run this foundation, who will not be influenced by the Vice-Chancellor or anybody, not council, not Vice-Chancellor, who will then use whatever money in that foundation only for the university. You cannot use it for meetings, maybe just less than 1% of such money in a year. Profits can go into any overhead. Everything must be what building you want to support, where is the vision of the university, where does it want to go in the next 1 year, how does it want to develop in academic or infrastructure. I mean, they will have to get it constantly and use money to focus on that. We're also saying our staff must bring in grants, just like what I told you before. It has to be part of the strategy. I have not seen a public university anywhere in the world, especially the world-class one, that says government fund them 100%. It's not possible. The most you find is that government may be funding 30-40%, and they're mobilizing grants, mobilizing donations, mobilizing philanthropy, and all of that to fulfill all the other goals that they have. So we want to do that as a university, and we are mobilizing our staff. In fact, every year for the last 2 years now, the grants coming in are increasing. I believe that the next year grant will be far more than what we got this last year. And we are very proud of that. Then we're saying, let's do business also. This university is floating a number of companies, Abuja Ventures, Abuja Printing, Press, Abuja Consult, Abuja this, Abuja that. We even want to start a tour and travel company. I mean, a lot of things we want to do. Because we also think that apart from students getting experience in them, because we have set aside a policy now that every business on our campus, whether it's university business or private, must set aside 20% of their workforce for our students. This is now a policy. So in those companies, our students will get training. But again, we are looking forward to making more money. Very soon, the University of Abuja Microfinance Bank will start rolling. We are at the tail end of approaching the central bank. We already got the money we need. Everything is put in place. Construction of the permanent site is ongoing. It's like 50% or 60% completed. So we are going to have a microfinance bank. And this microfinance bank is not just for the university, it's also for the local community. The indigenes of this place must have shares in that bank, must sit on the board of trustees of that bank, so that the marketers, the ordinary people who are trying to get little money to make it, just 20,000 will empower some people in the market. 50,000 will empower some people in the market. And microfinance bank is built for them. Apart from people from within, the university that will get support. We think that microfinance bank will mobilize and ensure great economic activity in the entire FCT community, especially among the indigenous people. So we are doing quite a lot to reposition the university, and then we're looking at, how students themselves will begin to make the right choices. You see, student choices, you get a computer. What kind of computer did you get? It's a computer that can stand, the virtual classroom system that we are introducing. You get a smart, telephone. Can it support the smart classroom that we are introducing? Because we have a virtual classroom system, that constantly is complementing the regular classroom system. These are just part of what we're doing.
Yes, I would say the reason why most of the buildings, like 90% of what you saw, were third fund. Sincerely, the Kwara State government actually started most of the buildings you saw there. They started the university with some buildings. But it got to a stage that the state could not fund the university. And it was realistic. It was a reality then. There was a global meltdown, economic meltdown. So the state could no longer fund the university. That was around 2014, 2015. We knew what the world experienced then. So they withdrew from funding the university and from giving us subvention. But that's actually brought out, it revealed, it exposed and it revealed one of the qualities of AbdulRasheed Nala. that this guy can actually make things done without any support. While the subvention stopped, throughout his stay, he did not owe us for 1 month. He would always be there to ensure that we got our salary as and when due, just to ensure that we kept doing the best we could offer. So if it was another person, we would say because they are not giving us. And the Vice-Chancellor we have now is just doing the same thing, ensuring that we get our best from nothing. So they stopped then, but Professor Rashid Nala tried all he could to ensure that it was restored, but he did not achieve that till he left. So there was no how. Thank God he had a good relationship with Ted Fund. So he just kept leveraging that relationship to ensure that projects kept coming to Kwasu. And it kept coming till the last day he left Kwasu. That was the day, that was during the time, during his last month was when we commissioned that Muhammadu Buhari library that you saw on campus. So there was nothing you could do. If you could not get something from within, then you look outside. It shows that you can think outside the box to ensure that things are being done the way they should be done, despite no or limited support.
We Nigerians want to believe themselves as exceptional community, great nation, great people, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to evidences of our greatness, we are nowhere to show. For example, our universities, as you have rightly said, cannot make it to the first 1,000 in the world. And it's very sad. 1,000. We cannot make it. And it's very, very sad. I must tell you. And I'm worried about it. But I know that University of Abuja is on the way to do that. We are breaking that jinx. We are breaking it in a big way. Because, you see, the truth is that you begin to ask yourself questions. Most academics do not understand that academic life is different from civil service life. Strike today, strike tomorrow. How do you die and wake up and still be yourself? It's not done. I call it Dakudaji tradition in our university system. Every day you go on strike. If academia is always on strike, how can they create products for this nation? How can they help nation to think correctly? How can they set examples even for politicians about what is needed to develop Nigeria? Politicians need think tanks. The think tanks of politicians are the academics. If I want to contest something, I should be able to find research that has been done in my area that tells me how or what strategy, whether I am liberal or I'm this or that in ideology, what strategy agrees with my thinking to help to develop the community. We should be the thinking cap of the nation. So what we're saying is that our universities are failing in those directions. Universities are producing so many people. When they come out of university, what they do is roam the street. By the way, university is not just about certification. It's about development. So that is one of the things that is of concern to me, as you have said it. So my own charge is that university administrators must think twice. University academia must think twice. The student must understand that they are not here just to get certificates. They should just think of their brothers and sisters who have come in, got certificates. What are they doing today? They just run in the street. So if your university is saying, sit down and work, let's mobilize resources so that you can really get what is right. Go and do entrepreneurship. Begin to create weight, even while you're in the university. Please take it seriously. My appeal to administrators is, help this nation to redirect. And government must also understand, yes, you may not put all the money that we need in the university, but put something that is respectable. Put something that is dignifying of universities. And that is very important. And universities too must embrace, understand that government has so many, things that is in front of them. They want to do road. They want to take care of health. They want to take care of infrastructure. There are just so many things. And the education is definitely one of them. Education must be a priority, but we cannot get everything. So we must all work together to assist this nation. And that is what is lacking. That is what we must do.
Kwasu was over 130 universities, maybe 131 on this university that was licensed in Nigeria. So if there's other universities already in Nigeria, why then do we need another one? For example, in Kwara, then we have Alikman University at that time. We had the University of Ilorin. It was about the same time we had Landmark started. So it was like, why do you want to have? You want Kwasu to just be another number, just another university? We want to be a university with a difference. And so what we want to do differently? Okay, in Kwara, for example, maybe I should just say this: in Ilorin, the federal university is cheap. So what they are selling, their own selling point is cheap fee, right? For Landman is agriculture. For Alikima is a faith-based Islamic. For Kwasu, so we have to know, we really want to create a niche for ourselves. And so our niche has been unique, which is what? Making our graduate job creators, okay, make Kwasu an entrepreneurial university. University that will make you think and reason like entrepreneur. If you reason like an entrepreneur, it's two way for you. One, if you create jobs, you end up employing others and make money for yourself. Two, if you even get a paid job, because you are an entrepreneur, your thinking and reasoning, all right, will be out of this world. Okay, will suit the thinking of the entrepreneur who owns the job, and then you'll be a prime staff. So this was the idea of look. If anybody comes out of council, must be to hold his own. Hence the drive for entrepreneurship. We began to drive it, having Nala as the chairman of the board. Of course, to make the program robust, all right, we realized that academics cannot deliver what you don't have. So we brought on board, we created a board of 12 individuals, and 8 out of these 8 board members were seasoned entrepreneurs. So these entrepreneurs are the ones that help us to design the curriculum of what the 5 programs I mentioned to you earlier that we do. Right? We are board members. We meet monthly. Nana was our chairman, and then today the center has won several laureates both locally and internationally. After he left, and then we have our second substantive vice chancellor, the name of Professor M.M. Akombi, rechristened Kwasu as University for Community Development and Entrepreneurship, having seen our dance stride in entrepreneurship. So if you hear around Kwasu, before it used to be University for Community Development, but now we are Green University for Community Development and Entrepreneurship, all thanks to the initial ideas of Professor AbdulRasheed Nala.
I would say he has actually achieved it. It will interest you that throughout his stay as the Vice-Chancellor of the Kwara State University, the motto of the university was the University for Community Development. So it means the Center for Community Development as established then had a major role to play. And we still play the same thing now. When the new Vice-Chancellor came in, the first thing he said was that one of the things I inherited from Professor Rashid Nala is this Center for Community Development. So I would say it has achieved its aim. One, because some universities are now coming to Kwasu, asking us how it's been done. We are now mentoring some universities. We are mentoring some universities in Nigeria on how it should be done. This is how to go about it. If you have done something, and those who had been created before you are now coming to see how you are doing it, the person who has come with that idea should be proud of him or herself. So when you talk about the aim being achieved, why not? He has achieved his aim. He wanted the people of Kwara to see the university playing a third role, playing a forgotten role, which was community development. Now they have seen it, they know it happens. And away from that, other universities that had been in existence before Kwasu are now trying to see how Kwasu does its community development interventions, and they are now coming as mentee to the university.
So I'm always proud of it. I remember towards the end of my term there, we were just finishing a huge library, which we got money from TED Fund, and we did this library, which people have said is the largest in West Africa. What I know is largest in Africa. We are in the 21st century. The library today is not a library like yesterday. The library is a social place today. You do conferences, you even go there and eat food, you go there and have social meetings, just like others will go there and get materials to read or you watch film. That is the library of the 21st century. And that is the library we built at Kwasu. We're trying to do the same thing here. So if I remember all of those, my colleagues there that worked exceptionally hard because we invested in people, I'm always very proud, I'm always very pleased. When I remember the infrastructure that we set, our ambition to be the University of Community Development, how we mobilize the community, how we empower the community. I did the microfinance bank there, it is still strong, and I know, what we did. We can go on and on, my brother. It was a wonderful experience. And it always brings smile to my face. Just know we mobilized people, we brought people from all over the world. There were Canadian, there were Brazilian, there were Indian. I mean, so many from all over the world who are part of that university's experience. Many of them staff, many of them.
You just helped me tell Professor AbdulRasheed Nala that whenever he's being asked that do you have any achievement in life, the moment he remembers me, my name as Lawal Olongbebe, he should be proud of himself that is one of my products. What he did with me at Kwasuka, I would say with, because he would say, let's do it this way. Sometimes I would come up with ideas and would say, okay, let's do this. He gave me that platform to showcase whatever I have, and he made sure that I was protected throughout. He did not just give me that platform and he left me like that. He was there to mentor me, knowing fully well that, no, you are a green on, then you have to be supported. Then I was a green on and he was there for me. It's something I would never forget in my life. And I look forward to a day I will be able to pay him back by assisting his own children or grandchildren as well. So please tell him whenever he thinks of any achievement in his life, the moment he remembers Lawal Olongbebe, he should be proud of himself, saying that is one of my achievements in life.
I would want to be remembered for, a typical Ilorin boy that has come into the university system and has just played his own part, who understood clearly what is needed to develop a global citizenship, who works with his colleagues, with others to make this happen. Despite the frustrations of the system, despite the difficulties of the system, despite the resistance that you meet in the need to change, that we actually got something done. And somebody who has helped to lay foundation for university who will continue to grow, who will never come down, but will continue to mount to the very top of education in this nation. That's what I want to be remembered for. And I pray to God Almighty, because at the end of the day, it is God's support that is very necessary. We will not achieve what we have achieved if God has not been with us. Government has been with us, God has been with us. But most importantly, God. Yes.